the 2K Sports pregame show.
Ernie Johnson here, joined by Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. We are honored to have you with us for our special presentation of the NBA on this Martin Luther King holiday. And in our matchup tonight, we'll see the Detroit Pistons going up against the Chicago Bulls. Looking at the last game for Chicago, it was a win against the Mavericks at American Airlines Center. That game a high-scoring affair. We'll see if this one turns into a shootout as well. And today we honor the one and only Martin Luther King Jr., a man who stood for the peace, unity, and equality of all people. It's a great day, Shaq.
That man gave his life for what he believed in. We are forever indebted.
Well, the progress that he made, truly, he led by example. He lived his life a way that we could emulate. Instead of talking about it, he was being about it. The Dr. Martin Luther King.
Just about time for tip-off on this very special day. We'll see you next time.
Great shot there of the flags that reside at the base of the Renaissance Tower. Welcome to the NBA here on 2K Sports, a special Martin Luther King Day edition. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg with Doris Burke reporting from the sideline. We're in the Palace of Auburn Hills. The Pistons are playing before their hometown crowd here in the Detroit area. Taking a look at Chicago, going up against a capable opponent, but you see their confidence. This one they feel they should win. They'll look to come out strong and show they're the better team.
And they've cemented their status over the course of this season as one of the truly elite teams in the NBA. They've done everything we've expected of them.
Yeah, it's interesting. The bar has been set very high, and they've done it to themselves. Yet, for all the success that they've had, it'll be quickly forgotten if they don't make a deep playoff run.
All right, let's set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. So for Chicago right now, Jennings out there with Jimmy Butler. Then it's Taj Gibson. Then there's Andre Drummond, and it's Cephalosha in at the small forward position.
And guys, Marco Bellinelli really hit his stride 2 seasons ago. He was way up across the board as a shooter and assist man. Even his rebounding had improved over his career averages. But then last year, he took a bit of a step back.
Here's Blake. He's coming off a 16-point game against Golden State.
And what I enjoyed when watching that game was the way he balanced getting his shot and also incorporating his teammates.
Now, here's Gasol. He had an 18-point outing in the last game against Golden State, and he gets it to go.
Guys, he's actually indefatigable. He never gives in, never gives up on a play, and that's what it takes to be a great offensive rebounder. You've got to be relentless.
Jennings with the bucket.
Wow, you don't see him make plays like that very often. That's a nice move there for the basket.
Now let's send it down to Doris Burke, who was able to talk with Stan Van Gundy.
Yes, Kevin, the crucial aspect for them in his mind is going to be making things tough inside for their opponent. He said they're physical, they like to mix it up. If we don't respond in kind, they'll push us around and we'll get bullied all game. Back to you.
Thank you, Doris. And he gets it to go.
They've scored several times already here in the first quarter down low. I like that.
It's like a running game in football. When you can pound the basketball inside, it also allows you to control the team's transition.
Here's Blake after Chicago picking up a basket just moments ago. Down to 5 on the shot clock. From deep. Rebound by the Bulls. I want to keep it rolling here following the win against Dallas.
Wow.
That's a beautiful jam.
And very little fight put up by the defense as he made his way to the bucket for the jam.
They did seem to take the cautious approach, Greg, when it came to defending that one. You're right.
And guys, it's not the time for caution now. I mean, they've got to be aggressive and take some risk to see if they can cut that lead down.
That Kia Slam Cam replay really gave you a good look at the action. And so it's Detroit with the ball after the Bulls pick up 2. Shot on the wing. Pistons keep it alive. The Bulls leading by 6. to the inside. Here.
And you can sense the momentum really starting to swing their way.
Yeah, they're taking charge here. I mean, there's no question about it, Greg. And the lead, I think, is just going to continue to grow and grow from here.
Here's Blake. After Chicago picking up a basket just moments ago. Shots good by Baines.
Well, Merry Christmas. I mean, that was a freebie.
The Bulls have gone 5 of 6 so far from the field to start out the game. Pass to Cephalosha. And it's off from three-point range. Well, for Detroit, their last game a loss to Golden State.
Yeah, their defense got sliced and diced in that game. They just weren't closing down on perimeter shooters, not nearly quick enough. And then they gave up their fair share of those point-blank shots on the interior as well.
Something was clearly amiss for them, Greg. I mean, to let an opponent shoot that high a percentage, you got to take a real long look in the mirror after a game like that.
Here's Bellinelli. Coming in off a 12-point game his last outing. Dunleavy dishes to Baines. Blake for three.
And how about the interior defense here early on? They have really shut down the middle.
And that's always your first priority defensively, Greg, and I think they're doing a nice job.
The drive by Jennings. Here's Cephalosha. Cannot hit. And Detroit the other way now.
It has not been an easy quarter for them, at least offensively speaking.
And Detroit with a 32-50 record last season. They didn't have any help from the schedule. They had a total of 22 back-to-back series on the year, tied for most in the league.
Jennings kicks to Gibson. The kick outside to Butler. The drive by Jennings. No good. They had a chance to end the run there. Greg, you just said the Pistons had a ton of back-to-back games. 44 were part of their back-to-backs, over half their schedule. Clark, they went 15 and 29 in those games.
And that's part of the reason why the NBA wanted to examine the schedule. I mean, it was a tough year for the Pistons. It's hard to get any momentum when you're playing that many back-to-backs.
And here are the Bulls now, following the bucket by the Pistons. The three from Cephalosha. The rebound by Blake.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see. If they could end every possession with that shot, they'd be happy. 9 times out of 10, that's an easy layup for him.
And boy, has he been struggling big time here in the quarter.
Yeah, he's played tight. I mean, you can see it. No flow at all to his game right now.
Blake with it, defended by Gibson. Here's Gasol. Yes, and it's Blake picking up the assist. 6 points for Pau Gasol.
Boy, I tell you what, nice little run here they're going on.
And getting to the 10 has been the key. They're getting point-blank looks time and time again.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago.
And, you know, Steve Blake, a veteran presence who has been around the block a few times. He's been on several teams, played in several schemes and systems throughout his career. He's seen everything you could try to throw at him on the floor. He's a consummate pro.
So Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. Ilyasova, he's checked in for Aaron Baines. Marcus Morris comes in for Pau Gasol. Johnson, he's checked in for Dunleavy. And it's Caldwell Pope in for Bellinelli. Chicago also making some changes. Mirotic is checked in for Gibson. Brooks comes in for Cephalosha. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for Brandon Jennings. Now, here is Mirotic. He provides a good amount of offense for the team, averaging around 11.5 points a game. And going back to Steve Blake, really didn't see much playing time after being traded to the Warriors last season. Of course, with Steph Curry and Sean Livingston ahead of you, you're going to not see a lot of minutes. Blake really just became probably more of an insurance policy.
And Blake's minutes, as you mentioned, Kevin, were down last season, but he was still that seasoned point man you love to have on your roster in case you got to cash in that insurance.
Pass to Caldwell Pope. Wide open look. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
Boy, that's a warm-up jumper there. I mean, when you're a pro, you can't make excuses for missing that one.
And it's Drummond with the jam.
Man, he slams it home and gets a little camera time on the backside of it.
He spent a while up there on the rim.
And I like the fact that the ref's going to give him a little bit of leeway there and a lot more than they used to.
Here's Caldwell Pope after the Bulls pick up 2. And And there's the pass to Ilyasova. Uses both hands to slam it down.
Sheer, unadulterated power right there. I mean, he ripped it down with both hands.
Absolutely. A resounding dunk.
Just a take-no-chance slam by the big fella.
Now, here is Mirotic, looking for his first basket still in this one. Ilyasova against Drummond. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. One free throw coming his way.
Yeah, he earned that one. I mean, taking the hit and still able to get that one go down.
Incredible, incredible body control right there. Don't know how he was able to get that one to go, but it sure was a thing of beauty to watch.
Splitters checked in for Jimmy Butler. Chicago shooting their first free throw of the game. Free throw no good for Drummond.
And guys, how about Ilyasova last season shooting the basketball? Always a decent threat to score. His improvements in efficiency were amazing. He increased his field goal accuracy from 41 to 47% in only 1 year.
Well, I tell you what, that is a lot harder than it appears. You've got to get your body angle just right to shield you from the defense.
Here's Caldwell Pope. Brooks covering. Here's Morris. That one off the back iron and out. Chicago leading. And it's Brooks. That time on the assist by Splitter.
And it doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes it.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch and how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
Nikola Mirotic, drafted as a late first-rounder, Clark, back in 2011. The Spanish star finally made his rookie debut in the NBA last season, and it was worth the wait.
It sure was, Kevin. I mean, once he started to get consistent PT, I mean, he was remarkable. Can run like the wind for a big guy, not that strong, but more aggressive than you'd think.
Anthony Tolliver, he's checked in for Detroit. Stolen by Rose. Brooks kicks to Rose. It's hauled in by Tolliver.
And back to Mirotic last season. Per 36 minutes, he averaged 18 points, 9 rebounds. He was also a tremendous foul shooter for a rookie big and made the all-rookie first team, was second in Rookie of the Year voting. I mean, what more could you ask for?
We've got a narrow edge here in rebounding early on. You wonder how much that'll play going forward.
Yeah, it's a game of inches, and every play counts.
And, you know, for Mirotic, his value extends to the defensive end as well. He did a surprisingly good job of racking up blocks and steals last season. You have to believe that if he improves his power and consistency, an all-star nod isn't so far off.
All right now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Loop shot.
And the first one at the line is good. And so Mirotic nails both of them.
Well, as far as the league's big men go, he's one of the very best at the foul line.
Feeds to Ilyasova. From outside, off the mark.
Well, that defense went from poor to no defense at all.
And when he's open like that, you don't see him miss those looks very often.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with a dunk like that.
And Detroit has possession. The Bulls getting the bucket. Morris passes to Ilyasova. Johnson goes in.
And guys, he's not the tallest or most imposing wing player, but Stanley Johnson has incredible strength and really unmatched confidence. One reason why so many were high on him in the draft.
And he knocks down the first one. And both free throws good for Johnson. Here's Chicago. They're on a 15-6 run. Rose kicks to Drummond. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. 8 points here for Drummond.
They've done a great job of getting into the middle of that defense and scoring in the paint.
And that's why they're on this run. You get that close to the hoop, and it's a lot easier to make shots.
Here's Caldwell Pope. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game, and he gets it to go.
Such a height mismatch out on the perimeter, and they give up the triple.
Rose attacking. He dishes it to Drummond. Back to Rose. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. That shot wide open. Brooks has got 5 now.
Everything going according to the script for them offensively so far.
Clark, shots be falling. That's for sure. They're scoring with a tremendous amount of confidence.
You went straight playground old school there, partner.
It's stolen by Johnson. Can't get it to go. The basket's coming early and often in the first quarter. Bulls lead by 6. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment. And the Gasol brothers, both starters in the All-Star game last season. It's the first time that's happened in NBA history. Pau talked about the joy of sharing the NBA stage with his brother Mark.
It's like a dream come true. It's hard to really picture it. I'm just proud to be Mark's brother, and I'm proud of what he's become as a basketball player and as a man.
Well, their story is a bit like a fairy tale, the way 2 of them, sons of medical professionals in Spain, have become 2 of the best centers in the NBA at the city.
Yeah, and especially, Kevin, when you remember what a raw talent and how big and bulky Marc Gasol was when he was drafted by the Lakers, who traded him to Memphis for his brother.
And thanks for joining us again, folks. 2K Sports broadcasting here on MLK Day, bringing you the NBA. Guys, what's your take on the Bulls so far?
It's been about the pace. You can see they're going to try to keep this game in the open floor.
Yeah, and you know, it's been a tempo that they like, and they're getting some easy buckets in transition here.
Dunleavy is out there with Anthony Tolliver. Then it's Aaron Baines. Then it's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And it's Bellinelli in at the 2 guard. That's the 5 on the floor for the Pistons.
All right, now, take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first free throw is good. So for the Pistons, Saul comes in for Anthony Tolliver. And Steve Blake is subbed in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. So he picks up just 1 from the line that time. Splitter kicks to Butler. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession. Shooting at a high percentage. All teams aim to do that. Let's see the league's best. Number 1, the Bulls.
Kevin, I've always said shooting percentage individually and for a team is a function of the kinds of shots you get. This team leads the league in shooting percentage because 1, they have good shooters, but 2, they take high-quality shots. They're a very disciplined group.
Now Jennings, after Jimmy Butler missed from long range. And so the ball out of bounds. Splitter touched it last.
A moment here to check out some of the stats for Jimmy Butler. Averaging 21 points per game, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds. And his playmaking really stands out, making his teammates better offensively with his terrific passing.
Yeah, he's outstanding at controlling the tempo. I mean, keeps the ball moving and, of course, finds the open man.
And the basket by Blake.
And that's a great piece of work to get to the hoop there. Just tore the D to shreds.
Outside Jennings. And here's Cephalosha for 3. And the Bulls with another miss.
Can't get anything to drop. I mean, the way he's going, it's probably not something he should try and shoot his way out of.
Well, they say you should shoot your way out of it, but his teammates probably have other thoughts in mind. The last thing they want to see him doing is continuing to cast that jumper up. I tell you what, you got to love his aggressiveness finishing inside like that.
Well, his leaping ability, Clark, gives him a great advantage.
And that's why they look to get him the ball around the rim. It's either a dunk or free throws every time.
Baines, it's tipped. Fast break, here comes Chicago. Cephalosha misses.
Nothing seems to be going down for him today.
Second quarter of play with around 2 minutes gone so far. And the basket by Blake.
That shot becomes effortless for him when the D is so relaxed. They've got to get more intense.
The drive by Jennings. Butler from outside. Oh, and he almost had a 4-point play right there. He'll go to the line with a chance for 3.
Really impressed with the way Jimmy Butler last season made big strides in his game, going from a supporting role player to someone you can build your team around.
And Jimmy Butler had the career highs across the board last season, won the Most Improved Player of the Year award, really picking up his production in his 4th season.
You know, we had seen the flashes of potential in Butler before. Last season, he sustained great play and really took everything to the next level.
Bellinelli dishes to Gasol. No good from 11 feet. The Bulls leading by 6. And here we go, the Bulls fast break. Shots good by Butler.
And they've looked terrific in transition today. That's had a lot to do with their success.
Oh, it certainly has. I mean, they've done a really good job recognizing anytime they've had the numbers advantage, and then they've taken advantage. We've seen it time and time again here.
Up the floor, the finish, the big dunk at the end of the break.
Agility leads to thievery there as he's got his hand in there to get the steal. Intelligent play to immediately start the break.
And Clark, that's been the story of this game so far. I mean, they cannot hand over any more easy points in the open floor. Yeah, enough scoring on the inside there. I think it's time for him to send a message to his team.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I guarantee you this talk centers around cutting down on all of those points coming in the paint. They've got to show more resistance there.
Make some noise, Detroit. Bellinelli passes to Blake. Gasol's in the post, working on Gibson. And Gasol gets it to go. The Bulls have gone 4 of 7 from the field in this second quarter so far. Jennings drives in. Blake with the steal. Pass break Detroit. Here's Gasol. And right on through for another basket. He's got 5 made on 5 of 9 shooting.
And how about that one-man fast break?
I love the power finish at the end of it, too.
Now here's Gibson. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Clearly just an example of a different mindset between these teams.
And Detroit has possession. Following Brandon Jennings' 3. The dish now to Blake. Just 5 on the clock. For 3, Dunleavy. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. Dunleavy's got 6 points.
They're having much more success here in the second after missing on a few chances that they had earlier. They've locked in and zoned in here now.
Now here's Jennings. He's got 10. Now the feed to Butler. Right wing. That's a 2 from Cephalosha. And the shot no good, a bit short. Pistons trailed by 6. Passes it to Bellinelli. Inside, here's Dunleavy. And count it, 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Yeah, exceptional play there to take the bump and still get it to fall.
I like to call that stick-to-itiveness, Greg. Getting everything he possibly could out of that play. Nicely done.
Good call.
Ilyasova, he's checked in for Pau Gasol. And Chicago also making a switch. Andre Drummond's checked in for Splitter. Watching Mike Dunleavy Jr., he's simply the mark of consistency. We know he's in his mid-30s, but you know exactly what you're going to get out of him every season. I think Tom Thibodeau, last year's Chicago coach, really admired that and loved it.
It's so funny watching Mike Dunleavy Jr. play. I remember when his dad coached me when I was with Portland, and he was a little kid running around, and all of a sudden he's become this great NBA player. But you're right, though. He's made himself into a valuable asset in terms of the role he's been given for the Bulls.
Chicago leading by 6. And here we go, the Bulls fast break. And stolen by Ilyasova. And Gibson sends it back. Butler attacking. It's deflected. And Bellinelli kicks to Blake. A 3-ball. Rebounded by Cephalosha. Cephalosha's got 3 rebounds so far in the game.
It just hasn't been a very good day for him, guys. They need him to start burying some of those.
Now here's Butler. 9 points in the game so far. And good on the basket. Book it.
What a job he's doing here. I mean, his second quarter has been even better than his first, and that was pretty good.
There's the pick. Baines dishes to Dunleavy. He feeds it to Bellinelli. Shot clock at 6. Here's Baines. And he lays it straight in. Baines has got 5 now.
And that's his strong suit, the ability to find his way through the D and finish at the rim.
Chicago calls timeout. Their last encounter was in Chicago.
And whether by design or by accident, they drew so many fouls in that game. Foul trouble for the other side became a huge issue.
And as a result, there was a blowout win. I mean, credit them for initiating contact and forcing the officials to make the calls.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Aaron Baines. Marcus Morris comes in for Mike Dunleavy. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, he's checked in for Marco Bellinelli. And it's Johnson in for Steve Blake. And there's the call on Andre Drummond. That'll be his second foul of the game. Over to the left wing. From deep. That shot by Caldwell-Pope, no good. Chicago leading by 6. Drummond with it. He had 31 points in the win against Dallas.
Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had earlier.
Morris passes to Caldwell-Pope. Here's Tolliver, and there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. Andre Drummond picks one up. Guys, what do you think about the offensive approach so far that we've seen for Chicago?
They've been making some really nice passes out there. Excellent passing. That could set the tone for the rest of the game.
Yeah, the other thing, though, is they have attacked in the open floor. They're definitely getting a lot of easy ones that way.
Boy, they're really battling, guys. Not sitting back, being aggressive, attacking when they have the chance. I like that.
Man, I like their approach to the game right now. There's tremendous aggression on both ends, putting the onus on the officials.
Fellas, that's exactly the job the big guy has to do for him. Contest every rebound.
Knocks it loose. It's stolen by Rose. For the finish. Oh! And the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
Well, they weren't going to pass up that chance to get out and run following the steal.
They better not. I mean, they've got to pad their lead anytime an opportunity presents itself, and that was a golden.
It's blocked. They retain possession.
Well, they're not really being as physical inside as they need to be here. I mean, that's my opinion. They need to create more second chance opportunities, like they did in the first quarter.
The Pistons have had 7 opportunities at the free throw line and made good on 5 of them. No good on that one. Good on the second free throw. Chicago leading by 5. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. Derrick Rose, unbelievable spirit. We know about his toughness, has fought through injuries of all kinds that might cause a lesser competitor to hang up his sneakers.
And competitor, that's the word, Kevin. I mean, he was impossible to outcompete at the high school level, the college level, and now in the pros.
Well, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
The drive by Brooks. Detroit with the rebound. Tolliver's got his third rebound tonight. Johnson with it, and Rose picks him up defensively. And out of bounds as Chicago gains possession.
And, you know, back to D. Rose for a moment. He drives the lane now as hard as he did before the injuries. It's a level of fearlessness that only a few guys possess. And it's not teachable. You either have it or you don't.
Chicago has gotten cold from deep in the second quarter, just 2 of 6 from long range. Drummond working against Ilyasova. It's Drummond with the drive. Banked in off the glass. Drummond's got the lead up to 10 now for the Bulls.
And, you know, back to D. Rose. He grew up in a brutally dangerous neighborhood on Chicago's South Side. Some of that fearlessness, that competitiveness he exhibits was learned early on out of necessity.
Now, here is Morris. They look to him for part of their offensive attack. Right now, he averages nearly 12 points a game.
Boy, they're knocking down the long-range shots. A lot of those same shots they missed earlier in the first quarter. They still find themselves down here, but they're starting to make some headway into that deficit. Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
52 seconds left in the second quarter. Knocked loose. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pistons will retain possession. 44 seconds left in the first half. Shot clock at 6. Johnson wide open. He fires. Off target from outside. The Bulls leading by 9. And it's Rose penetrating off on the layup.
That's an example there, guys, of contesting the shot and corralling the board. That's really all you can ask of a guy at that end of the floor.
Here's Johnson. He has 5. And Ilyasova kicks to Morris. Tolliver for 3. No good. And so we conclude the first half. It's the Bulls up 9. We're going to step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after our halftime.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny, the Jet Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. We'll be looking back at the game's first half. Andre Drummond having an outstanding game. He had 12 points and 9 rebounds. And Shaq, what did you see out there from the Bulls?
The bulk of their offense, Ernie, Kenny, is coming in the paint. See, it's just as good. It's hard-nosed basketball when you play in the post. Trust me, I know. You wouldn't know nothing about that, Kenny, little man.
Kenny, what'd you think about Detroit?
It looked like they were shooting threes blindfolded. Sometimes you could get cold, but that was atrocious. It was scary. But they also looked scattered out there, and I think that disorganization was the main issue for them missing those shots. They need to establish themselves better into a better rhythm in the second half and avoid relying so heavily on the three-point shot.
And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is about to get underway. Kevin Harlan has the call.
Happy Martin Luther King Day, everyone, and welcome back as we get going again here at 2K Sports. Andre Drummond has been sensational.
And the thing I noticed most in that first half was his offense. He was not wasteful with his opportunities and also did a great job of converting with the chances he had.
I agree with you, Greg. Judicious shot selection. All of his looks were good looks.
Tipping off the second half, here's Fred Hoiberg's 5. They've got Cephalosha. Jimmy Butler is out there with Jennings. Then it's Taj Gibson. And it's Drummond in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Here's Blake. Jimmy Butler making his last shot. Blake dishes to Gasol. Baseline J on the way. Yes, and it's Blake picking up the assist. Blake's got 4 assists in the game.
Yeah, great execution there. The turnaround, such a difficult shot to defend.
Now here's Jennings. It's Drummond with the...
Sublime stuff, guys. Absolutely sublime.
Clark, he's going to start putting on a show now.
And that's usually how it goes. Once they get that lead, it's almost like they give him free reign.
And the replay, of course, presented by Kia. What a play. Here's Dunleavy. The Bulls getting the bucket. He kicks it to Blake. Baines inside, defended by Drummond. And it's Baines missing. The Bulls leading by 11. Oh, and the jam by Butler.
Tell you what, he's going to put that one in his scrapbook. Absolutely insane with that dunk.
Well, now they're starting to rub it in, aren't they? Have build up a lead, and here we go, folks. It's showtime.
That was a Kodak moment right there. The more plays they make like that, the more they'll have these guys on the ropes.
Detroit with the ball. The Bulls getting the bucket. Gasol passes to Bellinelli. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. The Bulls have gone 3 of 3 from the field since halftime. Got a piece of it. And we're just around 2 minutes into the final half of play now. Kicks to Dunley. Lets the three fly. No good. And it's Chicago the other way. Now here's Drummond. 14 points for him.
Talk about complete control. Everything working in this one for Butler. He has 15 points, and he's made some good decisions with the basketball, too.
And being smart with the ball like he's been today, Clark, I think it's critical for him and them. He should repeat that every game.
The Bulls making a switch here. Splitters checked in. And so Butler nails both of them. Pistons trailed by 15. Now a timeout called by Detroit. You look at Jimmy Butler. He's really been playing well.
He's in one heck of a groove with the scoring. They're going to talk it over and try to figure out how to slow him down.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Stan Van Gundy said to the team. He told them to always have their eyes up, always be looking for passing lanes and ways to get the ball into the low post. That was the brunt of his message. He said also that their offense needs to be a patient one. He told them, don't rush things. Use as much of that shot clock as you need to. Clearly, some adjustments there had to be made because the time left for a comeback is quickly running out. Kevin, over to you.
Thank you, Doris.
Pau Gasol was the number 3 pick back in 2001. He managed to average 18 and 9 his first season, was Rookie of the Year, became a perennial All-Star. There's no way his younger brother, Mark, who was a second-round pick, could ever match up to that, right? Not so fast, people. Mark's pretty good, too.
And out of bounds as Chicago gains possession.
Boy, did they ever make a mess out of that one. A terrible turnover.
Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. Talking about Pau and brother Mark, both of them were excellent last season. The difference is that Pau has always been considered a great prospect, so detractors are much harder on him when they see cracks, I think, Greg, in his game.
Yeah, you know, for Marc Gasol, it can only exceed expectations because they started out so low. I'd simply say that if I had to pick between one or the other for best career, I'd do everything I could to pick both.
Good way to get out of it. Good answer.
We've seen a lot of silly plays like that out of them today. Just way too many.
A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. Splitter sets a screen. Now Cephalosha. He averages a bit over 6 points a game. And Gibson kicks to Jennings. 5 to shoot. Gibson dishes to Cephalosha. And he overshot that one, missing.
Yeah, but they're 3 of 4 to start the second half.
Dunleavy the pass to Blake. Here's Bellinelli, defended by Butler. And Bellinelli kicks to Gasol. Nice ball movement by Detroit. And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call.
You can't afford to be playing that loose right now.
Definitely not. I mean, things have to be tight. You want to be playing smart, high-level basketball. You don't want to be brain fading right now.
Derrick Rose is checked in for Thabo Sefolosha. Blake with the steal. And now running it up the court, Blake pushing it all the way. Nice D from Rose.
Ooh, and this is turning into a slow start here in the second half. Seems like they left that offense in the locker room.
And here is Blake. He's got 5. They set the pick. Bellinelli dishes to Gasol. 6 on the shot clock. It's deflected. Rose attacking, and the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
Now, that was an incredible reverse throwdown right there. Tremendous body control.
I'd even go as far to say, Clark, that was a punctuation dunk. Huh?
I can feel that.
Sending a message.
How about,
sir.
guys, that's one of those dunks that you probably want in your career highlight reel.
A different look here for Detroit. Morris is checked in for Aaron Baines, and it's Caldwell Pope in for Bellinelli. Morris a screen off the pick. They grab their own miss. And it comes off the front of the rim.
You know what? Those are shots you just hate to miss when you get those kinds of bunnies on a possession.
Butler passes to Gibson. Butler kicks to Jennings. Shot clock at 6. Splitter. Can't get it to fall.
No one to blame on that one but himself. You get looks like that, you've got to take advantage.
Over in the corner, Caldwell Pope. Yes, and it's Blake picking up the assist. Blake's got his 5th assist in this one.
You know, maybe he's not one of the elite sharpshooters, but even still, that's not a shot the D can afford to give him.
Derrick Rose possesses a great skill set, ball handling, passing, an understanding of how to score. First rookie to ever win the All-Star Weekend Skills Challenge.
Getting back to Rose, it's his extraordinary handle that allows him to get anywhere on the floor. Such confidence in the way he dribbles and drives, whether it's getting up in a position to set up a teammate, taking himself. He's the one very best at controlling that ball.
It's a great point. I mean, guys like D. Rose, Chris Paul, Steph Curry, Kyrie, they all have maximized that skill. I mean, the thing that separates him and puts him in that Russell Westbrook category is the pure physical strength. When healthy, he's able to play with.
Here's Caldwell Pope. But he gets it back. Morris outside. Plenty of room to knock down the shot. Morris has got 5 now.
And he should thank the D for those 2 points. Nobody paid much attention to him on that play.
Rose up on top, guarded by Blake, and Stanley Johnson is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul.
And the next one puts him in the bonus.
Yep, they'll be trying to draw that next foul quickly so they can start getting those easy chances at the strike.
Now here's Brooks. He's got 5. And he comes off the screen to bury the jump shot. He's got 7.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Ilyasova against Splitter. They set the pick. From deep, Johnson, good. And the assist goes to Blake. And it's 8 points now in the game for Stanley Johnson.
Boy, that was a rugged screen set there, fellas, and the defense didn't even try to go through that one.
Left side, Butler dishes to Splitter. Uses both hands to slam it down.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with a dunk like that.
Pistons trail by 14. Blake passes to Ilyasova. Feeds to Caldwell Pope. Morris a screen. Caldwell Pope kicks to Ilyasova. Misses with the tough leaning jump shot. The Bulls have gone 6 of 8 on field goal attempts in the third, a 75% clip.
Boy, the pass there floated up to the precise spot where it needed to be.
And no messing around in the finish, huh? He powers it through.
Sure didn't waste any time there.
And guys, that's an alley-oop I guarantee you we'll be seeing on the highlight reels for the next few days.
Here's Blake. 5 points in the game. The 10-footer. Another miss by Ilyasova. And oh, here we go. Brooks got it, the fast break chance. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, nice, strong finish there. Nearly a three-point opportunity.
Full throttle, pedal to the metal, attacking basketball. I like that.
And the Pistons making a change here. Tolliver's checked in. And a change for the Bulls. Drummond's checked in. Morris outside. Pass to Caldwell Pope. On the wing, Johnson. There's the screen. A 3 from Morris. Good, and it's Johnson with the assist that time. Morris has got 5 points now in the quarter.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists. Not surprised at all. He's shooting it well and scoring points in bunches.
Pistons trail by 17. Here's Caldwell Pope. Morris outside. And another 3 for Detroit.
They're going back to the three-point shot over and over and over.
And they may have found the Achilles heel of this defense. That was their 9th straight point from beyond the arc.
Now here's Drummond. 16 points for him. Here's Mirotic.
And we're seeing the shots start to fall for them now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this has been an extremely efficient second half for them up to this point.
Detroit's got more than a 50% success rate on their three-pointers since halftime. They're 4 of 7. Ilyasova is screen on Brooks. And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession.
And really just a lack of awareness on his part. Just no idea he was right near the line.
Thabo Sefolosha has checked in for Chicago. Johnson against Rose. Brooks dishes to Drummond, and he dunks it down.
And really a good job spotting his teammate near the bucket and then just pinpoint passing for the finish.
1:14 left in the third quarter. Johnson kicks to Caldwell Pope. Back to Johnson. Pass to Morris. 6 to shoot. From 11 feet away. And misses it off the right side of the rim. The Bulls leading by 18. Brooks outside. Takes the 3. And that one's good. Brooks has got 5 points in the quarter.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
Johnson the screen. On the wing, Johnson. Morris outside. Looking to end the run. And that one hits back iron.
And another miss. Ooh, he's having a really ugly game.
Yeah, about as ugly as you can have, you're right. Mirotic passes to Sefolosha. His three-pointer's off the mark. Johnson. No good. And as we conclude the third quarter, pretty much a blowout. It's been a one-sided affair. Bulls out front, opening up a huge gap. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from the Palace of Auburn Hills. Welcome back to the 2K Sports broadcast of the NBA, celebrating Martin Luther King Day. Pistons trail by 21. Pau Gasol is out there with Aaron Baines. Then it's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Then there's Bellinelli. And it's Dunleavy in at the 3 slot. That's the group for Detroit right now. Now, here's Gasol. There's a screen. 5 to shoot. And stolen by Butler. Here's Cephalosha. Got a piece of it. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession. Steve Blake's checked in for Detroit. The Pistons shooting has been wayward so far. Only 37% from the floor. The pass to Bellinelli. Gasol, a screen on Butler. For 3. Chicago grabs the miss. He dishes it to Cephalosha. Here's Gibson, and it's Gasol with the rebound. Gasol's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Blake kicks to Bellinelli. Fires the 3. And it's Chicago with the rebound. Butler's got 4 rebounds in this game. There's the triple. Bellinelli pulls it in. Pistons trail by 21. The dish to Baines. And Gibson sends it back. And they get it back. Goes up again, and it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Jennings. Fourth quarter now. We're about a minute and a half in. And Bellinelli kicks to Baines. They set the screen. Detroit, no good that time either.
Well, he's building a house with those bricks. I mean, one reason is he keeps trying to force it up when he's defended well. Move the ball, share the sugar.
Dunleavy dishes to Blake. And there's the feed to Gasol. Passes to Dunleavy. Just 5 on the clock. Bellinelli with the 3. Rebound Andre Drummond. Drummond's got double-digit rebounds now in the game. The shot by Butler, nobody around. Good again, he's on tonight, 9 for 13 shooting.
An open jump shot there, and their D not putting up any resistance today.
Got that one up quick.
And they came out smoking here from beyond.
And Greg, as hot as they are from out there, absolutely no reason at all not to just keep letting them fly.
Chicago calls timeout.
You know, something that's floating around in the sports world and in the NBA is reseeding after the playoffs start. And for those of you who may not understand the situation, it's simply saying that no matter what, it would play the lower seeded team, however you get to those numbers.
A little over 2.5 minutes have passed here in the fourth quarter. Here's Blake. He's guarded by Jennings. Kicks it to Gasol. Oh, trying for it. And it's out of bounds to the Pistons as Detroit retains possession. The Pistons working the ball around now. They get a hand on it. Here's Butler, and he makes no mistake on the slam dunk. Just floating to the rim on that slam.
Boy, when he gets up and stays up.
Man, you could clock his hang time with an hourglass.
Detroit's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. And Brandon Jennings gets the whistle that time. That'll be his second foul of the game. Here's Gasol. And Gibson sends it back. In transition, here come the Bulls. Out of bounds, Detroit takes possession.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Pistons shooting 34% from the field. That's not going to get it done. Blake passes to Baines. Outside Gasol. And the shot no good, a bit short.
That's exactly how you have to defend him. He's a guy that the D needs to be aware of at all times.
And count it, the shot is good. He'll go to the free throw line.
They're getting on a roll inside. Their last 3 field goals have come from inside the paint area.
There's got to be a wall of defense when it comes to attacking the paint. Plain and simple.
And let's get your guys' take now on the hustle stats for the Bulls.
You know, block shots, guys, a clear indicator on the stat sheet of their excellent defense. I mean, leaving them no room to get off any shot.
Yeah, but they've also done a great job of playing in space, getting out in transition every opportunity.
And that is good. Bellinelli's got 6 in the quarter.
They've gotten a bunch of good looks and have been absolutely lethal from behind the three-point line.
Yeah, defensively, you have got to close out and contest. Even if it opens up some driving lanes, you can't give up those looks that often.
Here's Bellinelli. Blake with it. He feeds it to Bellinelli. Yes, and it's Blake picking up the assist.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
Now here is Cephalosha. Kicks it out to Jennings. And again, no good by Chicago. Pistons trailed by 21. Dishes to Blake. He kicks to Gasol.
It's been kind of a gradual occurrence, but I think it's clear that analytics are here to stay in the NBA. Every team now has at least some vesting into the analytics area. Some base a lot of their decisions on the number side of the game. Others have a more balanced approach.
Analytics does have a strong place in the NBA, so it's been proven over the last decade. Some held out, but now, Greg, the results, the benefits of those numbers, it's hard to deny them.
A great point, Kevin. And with something new like that, there's always going to be a bit of resistance. There will always need to be a balance, I believe, and you need to use the numbers and your own eyes. They really do go hand in hand to kind of keep each other in check. Ooh, quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
Here's Blake. The Bulls getting the bucket. Good!
Uh-oh, a little showboating at the end of that one.
The Bulls leading by 21. Brooks outside. Outside Rose. Drummond sets the screen for Rose. Second chance shot, and that's 2 points on the layup.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Here's Blake, following the score by Derrick Rose. Blake kicks to Ilyasova. Good, and the assist goes to Blake. Blake's got his 8th assist in the game. Chicago's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the 4th quarter. And finished off by Rose.
And that's really the change in our game. It's the overall athletic ability. I love those point guards that can throw it down.
Well, you've talked about that. That's a dose of the modern NBA, Greg. That kind of aerial ability isn't limited now to just the front court anymore.
That's exactly right.
You know, I look at it this way, guys. It seems to me there are more high flyers at guard than anywhere else in the league these days.
You know what, though? Sometimes you can be too open. I think it may have surprised him, and that's why he missed.
And Drummond kicks to Gibson. The shot is off. And it's Detroit the other way. Now Blake. There's the pick. Feeds it to Morris. Lots of room. Oh, and it looks like that's going to be a goaltending call. Yep, that's it. So they'll get the basket.
And it seems every season we see a player try and play through an injury. Sometimes it provides a boost with heroics, but it can lead to serious damage long term. It's a common practice we see, and some guys are pretty cavalier about it.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Aaron Baines comes in for Ilyasova. That's Dunleavy in for Morris. And that one's good. Drummond.
Boy, this defense is getting eaten up on the inside, guys, giving up far too many free runs to the rim.
And they haven't been able to return the favor with their offense in the paint because that has not been up to par.
Caldwell Pope, he's checked in for Bellinelli. Greg, a lot of NBA players do play through injury. Last year, for instance, LaMarcus Aldridge played most of the regular season with a thumb injury that required surgery. Mike Conley, Clark Kellogg, we saw in the postseason play with the mask, with a facial fracture.
Yeah, and it's hard to make a blanket statement if it's good or bad for guys to do that. You just hope the player heeds the doctor's advice and doesn't do any further damage by playing injured.
Gibson with the steal. Butler goes in. Gasol with the steal. Pass to Baines. To the middle. From 10 feet out, it's Gasol missing.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady with their work on the interior. Really a well-rounded effort overall.
So many people overlook Pau Gasol prior to last season, seemed to think that Clark, he was past his prime.
Well, he was a starter in the All-Star game and a huge reason the Bulls played as well as they did. It was a big season for him. A lot of GMs shaking their head for not going harder after him.
Here's what Detroit's going with right now. Anthony Tolliver. He's checked in for Gasol. Johnson comes in for Mike Dunleavy. And Dinwiddie subbed in for Steve Blake.
You know, and with Pau Gasol, it was weird to think that the Lakers were just so ready to let him go and move on.
And both free throws good for Rose.
And with the skill set that Pau has and the year he had, there's no telling how long he can play at a high level. Again, one of those guys that never been reliant on the athletic ability to have an impact.
Here's Dinwiddie. Pass to Caldwell Pope. That one falls coming off Dinwiddie's feet.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Bulls.
Agreed, Steve, and as one-sided as it gets today. You know, Clark, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
You're right, Kevin. It's hard to think of anything that didn't go right for them. I mean, game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was spot on.
And so all the hard work here tonight converted into a tally in the win column. It'll be number 26 on the year.
And once they polish off this win, they'll be one more victory away from sweeping the season series.
And this isn't one of those mini series either. I mean, this is a 4-gamer. As hard as it is to beat a team 3 times in a row, it's even harder to do it 4 straight.
And as usual, great numbers and a dominant display for Butler. Just an outpouring of points from him. Nobody could do much to keep him from dropping it in.
Now Johnson, following the 3-point attempt by Derrick Rose. There's 25 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Shot clock at 5. Here's Caldwell Pope. It's hauled in by the Bulls. Brooks outside. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot. And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. A resounding victory for them. And Greg, in enemy territory, no less.
And that's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for watching the NBA presented by 2K Sports. Now we'll go to the studio with the award-winning Ernie Johnson.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Many thanks, Kevin. So now we move on to our Jordan player of the game, Jimmy Butler.
He was up to every single challenge he faced tonight. He was in such control of the ball game. His showcase of his skill set was awesome.
I thought this performance he needed to deliver, Ernie. He needed this game. You look at how he's been playing recently, and this was huge for him to come out and have a great night. You can really tell a lot about a player, how they break out of a slump. He responded exactly the way he needed to.
And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure. For Kenny the Jet Smith, for Shaquille O'Neal, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a great night.